One of the greatest discoveries we can make in life is the power of silence, the power of doing nothing, the power of being quiet. Most of the problems which occur in life is because you unnecessarily put your direction and energy in the wrong place. Even if you are in the right place, if you have the right attitude, you can be helpful. You can be helpful for growth of a company, a person, your own people, or anyone you choose. Or you can work in the opposite direction with dark energies, by which you can assure yourself, we can assure ourselves of complete doom in our purpose with the eternal energies of the universe. Or we can remain silent and flow with the energy. But most people, because of their mindset, most of us, we want to do something within the mindset. And even if you are in the best of places by which you can be successful, by which you can move with the energies of the earth, by which people can help you, people can help us, our mind will start to work to foil or everything which is being laid out before us. Sometimes God presents us with opportunities, abilities to be at the right places, to do the right things. But because of preconditioned mindset to drive us into the carnal instinct, we fall prey to jealousy, we fall prey to all kinds of negativity. And then the life goes into a downward spin. We think that we are trying to get something out of someone, or get something out of some place, or get something out of some country, or get something out of... But in fact, we're losing everything, the real essence of life, the real meaning of life, and everything associated with the energy of a person. So if you are in any situation as of now, by which you can either do something constructive or you can do something negative, or if you can remain silent and flow with the energy on the constructive side, it is best and wise and the most smartest decision to flow with the energy and get all of the benefits of flowing with the energy of the universe. I go back to the stock markets, If you find a company which is good, which is at the foundation level, it has a strong management, it's going to be successful, you know that it has all the abilities to be successful, and you are placed, by some chance, you are placed to buy the stock, and you have bought the stock, and you're within it. But then you try to take advantage of the stock at every rise and fall. And then people with that kind of mindset in the stock markets lose everything, because the power of being silent for the next 10 years on a healthy stock will give you sometimes even 100x return, because you believed in the stock, you were with the stock, you knew what the grounding of the stock was, and it helped you grow. But the carnal instinct of trying to make an immediate gain, the most foolish mindset of an animal, gets into us. Many people in the stock markets, and then they lose on the stock. They would have bought into the stock, and then they lose over a period of 10 years, and most of the money is gone trying to move from one stock to the other. So the power of being silent and moving and flowing with the energy of the universe is the most important factor which we can learn in life sometimes. We are placed in different situations, and once we know that we are with the right source, we are with the right company, we are with the right people who can help us move with the energies of the earth and help us being successful, Just be silent and be supportive. Don't be rude. Don't do anything else. But the problem is the carnal instinct of greed or jealousy is the primal reason for failure of most people. It is the primal reason for all kinds of problems associated with people. If you take any kind of criminal or any kind of person who's fallen prey to jealousy, is you go through their life history, it's all about trying to mimic another person's life. No one can mimic another person's life. However deep you try to understand a person, you cannot understand the deep subconscious levels. You might understand on a conscious level to some extent, that what most people do, and that most AI companies as of now knows. Google knows exactly what you will do on a conscious level. Google knows every part of, some of the most advanced AI companies knows everything about people, because that's the way the system works, the data analysis work. But on a deep subconscious level, no one can get to know anyone, because it's a connection between the subconscious and the universal mind. So what's most important is, if you got into any company, you know that the company is going to be successful, you know that the ground roots are right. There might be frailties within every company has certain weaknesses at certain point. But the moment you try to focus on the weakness and ignore the strengths of the company that you are in, be the best of companies, they have weaknesses. You are going to be on the losing side because you've forgotten the basic foundation. Every human, every company has certain frailties, but on a weighing scale, the superior companies have strengths much more than weaknesses, and they're built on the strength. And if you are with the right mindset, with the universal energies, you will focus on the right mindset. You will at least learn to keep quiet and flow with the energies. The moment a company flourishes, be it any kind of company, they help the employees also. If it's a genuine company, or if it is companies moving with the energies of the earth, that's the principle of growth. So learn to be quiet. If you buy the right stock, be it Microsoft, there might be certain variation, there might be some problems at certain points. But on the long term, it's going to be enormously successful. People who have bought Microsoft, or people who have bought Amazon, way years back and stood with the company, have made hundreds of times the investment. Now, I'm not trying to tell you to double your money by moving with the right stock. I'm telling you that you have to study a company, you have to study an individual, you have to study people. And once you know that they are with the energies of the universe, you are with an idea which germinates into the future, which helps millions of people, which helps support people, generations, then stick with them, because you've studied, you made your outlook. So, and just be quiet for the next 10 years. You'll find abundance flowing into your life, because you're already with a person who's moving in the energies. On the other hand, if you go working on the other hand, you're losing everything in life. In the stock markets, you lose everything, but in real life, even what you have, little will be taken away from you. Some of the greatest religions in the world tell you that if you're going to focus on people's negativity, dark energy, even the little that you have will be taken away from you. That what happens, as I mentioned before, the stock markets, people go into minus because of greed, because of jealousy, because of instinct, because of carnal instincts. And some people are so hardwired that we cannot help them, so we let them go the way they have to go. And once they learn the lesson and they are in real turmoil, they might turn back, but that's their option, that's the choice. Let's move with the energies of the earth. Let's move with ideas which germinates into the future, which helps future generations. All of our future discoveries must move with the energies of the earth, which sustain life. Thereby we can be assured that our discoveries will be germinating into the future, into prosperity, into abundance, one in sync with the universal energies, one in sync for the future generations, the unborn child, for all the energy systems of life within us, within our lives, for our children's lives. Let's replenish our earth. One of the most plain and simple methods, plain and simple approach is also the most complicated. If you look at a tightrope walker, if you look at some of the most skilled workers in the world, be it in any profession, be it in management, be it the best of carpenter, the best of electrician, the best of surgeon, the best of scientist, the best of software engineers, when they reach an epitome of their skills, what they do becomes quite simple. And to normal people or anyone who watches them, it seems that they're doing a very simple job, and why they can't follow it. And many people do not value people with professionalism, people with skills. They think they can just copy, someone with years of training, not just with the conscious mind but also subconsciously, by which the neurons are connected to perform certain functions very clearly. If you look at evolution, every animal is evolved and the neurons within the minds are connected to perform functions along with the muscle, along with the body. But the problem with some people in the world, and many people in the world, is that they do not value skilled professionalism. It's because of lack of understanding. It's because they think they can copy just about anything. And they fall into traps. We fall into traps of the world. People bring up schemes. They bring up glittering schemes of following this to making quick money in the stock markets. And then they put up examples of the greatest of investors and they make it seem very easy. And just like a bait, a lot of us move in and bite the bait. Let us learn to respect what is within us, because that's the only differentiating factor from all other species and all other humans. Is your soul, is your being, is your skill developed in resonance with the force of the universe, which guides you, which sustains you, which nourishes you and your family. So once you have the force of the universe along with you, along with the oxygen that you breathe, why do we ever go back to the foolishness of trying to work against the very oxygen that we breathe? But even that is a very simple but straightforward answer. It is because our brains are wired over 100,000 years of evolution. And most parts of evolution till around 10,000 years back, that is 90,000 years, I'm just quoting an example, it might be much more than that. This was trying to save yourself from other animals, trying to get food as fast as possible. And we were one with the mindset of most of the living species, including animals. So we began to evolve into humans in the true sense around 10,000 or maybe even more years. But the lifespan of expansion of our humanity, along with the energies of the universe, along with the mindset of creation, which makes us know that we are along with the creative source of the universe, is quite new to our brains. So that's why we go back to the fastest way of making money without thinking about a contribution to the society, contribution to the future generation, which is the most wisest, smartest thing which we can do for ourselves. But we are driven by that wiring, the neurons. I'm not saying everyone is. As I mentioned before, people have percentage of that neuron connections within their minds. So as long as we recognize that we are one with the creative source of the universe, which makes us different from all other species, as we mentioned before, then we are on the right path towards prosperity, towards health, wealth and spiritual abundance. And also we are creating a new world of divine prosperity for ourselves, which includes health, wealth and spiritual wellness along with the creative source of the universe. Now, as I mentioned before, everything which seems very simple, which includes the greatest of professions, the best of skilled persons in different professions, they've reached that stage by which they can make it seem very simple. So let us not try to emulate someone who's reached a stage by which it seems simple that they can do things. Some people are gifted naturally with certain abilities. Some people are gifted with, along with the source code of the universe, to achieve certain things for the world in resonance with the universal force of the universe. Let us not idealize and try to move with people and with the only objective of gaining something for ourselves. Let us identify the core abilities within us in terms of skills along with the energies of the universe. Because that is the only differentiating factor for you to be successful in life. In the true sense of the meaning of life. In the true sense of the last day of your life. It is very simple. You are a seed of growth. The seed is being powered by the universal energy. The life within a seed is the most powerful force which gives life to the seed. It's the most powerful force which generates life for the seed to become a plant, bear fruits. So within that seed exists a whole ecosystem of life. Even just one cell has so many millions of functions within each cell. To the universe, a minute cell and the largest of planets does not make sense, because even a cell holds so many functions. If you look at a human cell, the first cell of an embryo, of a child, it holds all the life forms, it holds all the organs, it holds all the knowledge which was gained as a human. And that cell is 0.0001% of the human body as we see in a grown-up. It's not even 0.001. The minute cell are, if you look at just our human bodies, it has billions and billions of cells. So each cell is a microorganism within itself with the source code of knowledge along with the universal source code of God. And when each of your cells is being powered by the universal force, is being enhanced by the universal force, it is not just foolish, it is completely out of sense to move against the universal force, to do anything against the energies of the universal force, and say that you are along with the dark energies, because even the dark energy is being powered by the universal force. So let us understand the basics of life. The very reason you're breathing, the very reason our children are surviving is because of the food, water, shelter. It's because of the oxygen, it's because of the water, it is because of the natural systems. And once we start to respect the basics of our life, we are moving in sync with the energies of the earth. All of our discoveries into future starts from the basic respect for the life forms of the systems, and all of our discoveries wants that respect. And we understand that a good quality life for the future generation is what we can contribute in terms of the future, in terms of our present. A good quality of water system is what we can contribute for the future in what we do today. Be it in any field of life, the best of roads along with the energies of the universe, the best of infrastructure, the best of buildings, along with the energies of the universe. Once we get into fields by which our intention, which our vision is for the betterment of the future generation, along with the energies of the earth, then we are being blessed on earth. We are respecting the source code of life, the source code of the universal force of creation. Let's replenish our earth. Continuing with the chapter of the essence of our lives, let's have some examples in a story which can be also a parable. There was a man who lived around 300 years back, and he had all the wealth in the world. He was groomed from a young age to acquire wealth, to give priority to money, to give priority to goodness in life, according to the belief system of them. And then according to everyone, he ascended the throne and became a king. In the Greek nation, he became a king. And by being a king, by knowledge, by practical means, he could acquire any property within the kingdom. The whole of the kingdom belonged to him. But effectively he understood that he was a manager of all the properties, although he owned everything within the kingdom. Although he owned all of the gold, all of the resources, all of the diamonds, all of the chariots, the horses, the greatest of buildings which he wanted within the kingdom, which expanded 1,000 miles. But once he got it, once he ascended to the throne, it reflected in his mind that the truth of the matter was that he was a manager. He understood that although his citizens had given him authority over all of the properties, as a human, what he could possibly enjoy was a good meal, maybe with the best ingredients. As a human, what he could possibly enjoy or live a life was good company of the right people, right association, right relationships. As an individual, one of the most important priorities as a human for him, although he had all the wealth in the world, as the society at that time gave him credit for, gave him the title of the king, he knew that the environment that he lived in, the oxygen, the water, the trees, the plants, the environment, the temperature, the humidity was much more important than the title of the ownership that they had given him. He understood that the title of ownership was mere acceptance of the fact that he could manage the vast empire that he had acquired in terms of human understanding, in terms of wealth. Now, as we said before, acquiring wealth in our human form is important to a degree. But acquiring wealth along with the energies of the universe brings meaning to your life. Once you have your purpose clearly set, in tune with the energies of the universe, you're bound to be helped on earth by the universal energies. You're bound to prosper on earth. As we said before, there is a time span. It might not just happen immediately for immediate gains. It's a time span of usually 5 to 10 years, by which your life will start to move in the right direction along with the universal energies, not because you wanted to do it as a trick, but because your mind and the neurons within your mind started sinking in with the energies of the earth which sustain life. Your mind worked in unison with the energies of the earth which provides oxygen, life forms to every living species on earth. And when you tap into that energy with a clear direction of your mind, which is not just a trick, but your mind is in sync with the energies of the universe, which has been cultivated by your thinking over time. And that is the reason which takes maybe 2 to 3 years, maybe 5 years. But once your mind connects in genuineness with the spirit of the universe which sustains life, with the spirit of the universe which is all about abundance. The universe is all about abundance. Only humans which has created those limitations. But unfortunately, as we said, the carnal desires, which predates back to 100,000 years, by which our mindset was one with the animals, and there was no differentiating factor in clarity between us and any other living species. That same mindset holds in a lot of people today. It holds in a lot of us today. As long as we understand we are with the creative source of the universe in terms of creating new life forms, in having a meaning for the future generations, and getting into professions with the energies of the universe, we will have meaning in our lives as we live on earth. And also we'll have meaning in our lives because we are working for the future of all of the energies of the earth, for the future generations, the unborn child, every energy system around us. Now let's go back to the story. The king had everything, but the nirvana, the real understanding, the real purpose of his life was established when he understood that all of the work, all of the wealth, all of the properties that human beings thought that he owned was just a temporary speck of administrative power which the universe had given him during his lifespan. And all of the meaning in the king's life in Greece depended on his ability to move with the energies of the earth which sustain life. And when he did so, his profession as a king, along with the universal force, had a meaning in the yesterday, today, and the future, because he worked for the future generations. He built the best of palaces, the best of roads, the best of highways, along with the energies of the earth. He built the best bridges, along with the energies of the earth. He made sure that his citizens had the best quality of water, the best quality of oxygen, by planting the right trees, the right flowers. He made sure that the dark energies were dealt with at its grassroots levels. He did not encourage any dark energies to flourish in his kingdom by offering an olive branch to people working along with the energies of the earth and shutting out any dark forces. Thereby, he started working along with the energies of the earth which sustain life in the future. That will be the measure of our lives into the future. All of our discoveries into the future as of today, which enables us, our mobile phones, our televisions, the news media, all of the media, including social media, must work over a period of time along with the universal energies which sustain life. All of our discoveries, which includes the deepest of learning, ChatGPT as we see, or other AI systems must work along with the energies of the earth which sustain life. When we mean that you work along with the energies which sustain life, it also means that we work against any kind of dark energy which might bring the future generations to turmoil. We will nip such dark energies in the bud, because as a human instinct, we have that instinct for survival to protect the children. And the only way to protect your children, the future generations, is to nip any dark energies which might affect them in future, maybe 50 years from now, maybe 100 years from now. Now when you nip such dark energy, it does not mean that you destroy them. The future of our learning, deepest learning AI systems will have abilities to help people with dark minds, people with criminal minds, to see the truth of the matter, because they're into a foolish dark energy which destroys them at some point of time during their lifetime. If you see, as I said, the criminal families, hundreds of them, thousands of them, nearly most of them have perished within a matter of 100 years, and most of the wealth is lost. So we are bringing them to proper understanding along with the energies of the earth and help them generate ideas to move along with the energies of the earth. And AI, the greatest of deep learning, will help them move into therapy sessions which might be 15-30 minutes, and they will start to move along with the energies of the earth. By doing so, we ensure that the future generations are protected. We ensure that our discoveries into the future, in terms of deep learning, in terms of scientific knowledge, in terms of all kinds of understanding, which we will get and be enabled by the quantum computers, which quadruples in terms of knowledge. Our knowledge today will not be the same knowledge which will be 10 years from now. It will be thousands of times much more in terms of its impact, in terms of curing diseases, in terms of bringing rainfall across the world, in terms of reducing poverty and providing the basics of food, water, shelter for the people of our earth. These are systems which provides life forms to every living being on earth, every human on earth. The best of roads, the best of highways, the best of buildings, along with the energies of the earth. The best of medical infrastructure, along with the energies of the earth. The best of scientific discoveries in terms of biosciences, bioengineering, along with the energies of the earth which sustains life. We will be one in sync with the chips, the most advanced chips. We will be one in sync with the quantum computers, and with such energy of knowledge, we cannot have a dark force thinking which might destroy the future of the unborn generations, the unborn child, the energies. So the only future we have is to move with the source code of life, the source code of creation. Let's replenish our earth. The world today is governed by two different philosophies of thinking, and the evolution of our society, especially in the past 500 years, is between two major aspects. The whole world is at present divided into different blocks based on two basic major philosophies. Apart from religious beliefs, these two philosophies govern the people of the world, their thinking, their lifestyle, their evolution. The two philosophies which gained ground in the past 500 years is, as we know, communism or capitalism. And as we know today, through the evolution of time, that capitalism has gained ground over communism. The concept of everyone having everything without the right kind of effort, everyone having everything by which the government distributes wealth, taking from the rich and giving it to people who do not have, was a kind of a basic principle of communism. But as we have seen in the Soviet Union, as we have seen in different parts of the world, communism has kind of died down because it did not give impetus to entrepreneurship. If someone had a good idea and they prospered and then the government stifled their growth, their prosperity, and took away from them and gave it to someone who was not just working and who was lazy and who did nothing. Such kind of system did not evolve to be prosperous. So capitalism gained ground over communism. As we see, some of the major communist countries, which was in the past 50 years, which includes East Germany's bloc, including the Soviet Union, including some of the major communist countries in their philosophies, have turned to capitalism somehow or the other. Even China, for that matter, which was extremely communist, has changed to capitalism to an extent. Now, there are different degrees of the evolution of capitalism, and capitalism has preceded communism. But everything is not perfect. As we see in some of the major economies of the world, capitalism has gone to extremes by which people who have the most are gaining more, and people who did not have are even having less. They're working day to day for existence, which is a major part of the population, which is nearly 70% of the population. Most of the developed countries, they are working day to day for existence, and in case they do not work a day, they are left to the mercy of the government subsidies, handovers. So capitalism has moved to an extreme, and today that's why AI has been a boon to bring a balance between capitalism and communism. In the human form, we have driven things to extremes by which huge sections of our society, a vast population of the earth, is on a survival mode, if we like it or not. And today the evolution of deep learning, the evolution of deep knowledge, the evolution of AI systems will help move the earth population to the basics of survival and prosperity abilities, which means that AI in the next 5 to 10 years, we can give a nearly 90% assurance, will usher in a new era of goodness for the population of the world, which means that the basics of food, water, shelter, and education will be taken care of in different ways. It might be from government handovers, it might be from different evolution of thought process, but which the major part of the human population will have the basics of life to prosper along with the energies of the earth, and thereby, along with the energies of the earth, with sustained life, they can prosper and gain wealth if they want, or they can have any other kind of ambition and work along with the energies of the earth. If you look at the reason why capitalism has preceded communism, it's because capitalism in some sense worked on the creative aspects of humanity. It helped humans move to creativity, which means that it gave reward for an idea which helped maybe 100 people, maybe 1,000 people, maybe 1,000,000 people. And companies evolved and prospered, and a lot of people, which includes thousands or millions of people, shareholders also benefited. So capitalism in one way helped humans move along with the energies of the earth. It gave encouragement, it gave motivation for people to work on ideas, creative solutions for the future, for the present generation. But as we know, capitalism also has gone to extremes of greed. That's where the negativity of capitalism had come in. So AI will solve that, provided we work with the energies of the earth. Provided all of our knowledge, all of our deepest learning, the greatest of AI chips, the greatest of supercomputers, quantum computers, are designed and evolved, and also governments encourage people to move along with the energies of the earth, with sustained life. Thereby you will have a balance of capitalism and communism, and it will be called AI prosperity for the earth, AI balance of basics of food, water, shelter and education for the citizens of the earth. So it will be a balance of capitalism and communism enabled by the AI thought process, helping governments plan into the future so that the population of the earth prospers along with the energies of the earth with sustained life, and the future generations also are benefited along with the greatest of discoveries, the greatest of deep learning as we see today, which will quadruple the knowledge systems of deep learning which we have today, as we know, will move thousands of times in terms of its abilities in just 5 to 10 years. And as long as we are with the energies of the earth with sustained life, we can be assured that the world is moving along with the vibrations of the universe, the vibrations of creation, the vibrations of the energy systems that work all around us. The sun, the moon, the trees, the oxygen, the water, every life system. We can be assured that we are going to be blessed on earth along with the future generation, the unborn child, and every living species on earth which work with the universal force of creativity, the universal energy of life. Let's replenish our earth.